Hello, and welcome to the 15-minute Basic TutorMate training. This training and other resources can be found in our e-learning center located in the classroom management section of the platform. We know you have a big job this fall. A recent study from the Stanford Graduate School of Education reports that reading fluency in elementary students is 30% less than what would be expected in a typical year due to the effects of the pandemic. TutorMate can help by offering one-to-one literacy support that is focused on word knowledge and fluency. This weekly mentoring can also bolster a child's confidence and increase their ability to learn. What follows is what you will need to know to get the program started in your classroom. The corporation assigned to your classroom will allow their employees to take 30 minutes of paid time during the workday each week to read with your students. In return, we ask that you spend 5 minutes each morning making sure the tutoring computer is ready for incoming calls. Volunteers are recruited from some of the most well-known corporations around the country. Apple, Google, UPS, General Motors, and Microsoft are just a handful of organizations that choose to spend their time volunteering with TutorMate. These volunteers may be from different organizations, but they all have one thing in common. They are passionate about reading and sincerely want to help your students become confident readers. Innovations for Learning will provide your classroom with a tutoring laptop and a headset that includes a microphone. This laptop is to be used for the TutorMate program only, and we will collect this equipment at the end of the school year. There are 3 tasks you will need to complete to get started with the program. 1, create a TutorMate account. 2, enter students' data into the class list and get parent permissions. And 3, block off time on the TutorMate calendar for those times when you do not want tutors calling the classroom. Once those 3 tasks are completed, we can assign tutors to your students. Let's get started with creating your TutorMate account. To create your account, go to www.tutormate.org and click on the Change or Recover Your Password button. Enter your district email address. Please do not use a personal email address. And an email will automatically be sent to your district email address from TutorMate. If you do not see the email, check your spam folder. Open the email and click on the link, Change My Password, and enter a password that is easy to remember. Write it down because we will not have access to your password. Now that you have an account, you are ready to log into the platform and enroll your students in the TutorMate program. This is the second step needed to prepare for the program. From any computer connected to the internet, go to www.tutormate.org and sign in using your district email and the password that you just created.
Once you're logged into the platform, you'll be presented with icons for the participating programs at your school. For TutorMate Enrichment, select Tutor Portal.
After you sign in, the first screen you see is the welcome screen. This is the tutoring screen and what should be presented on the tutoring computer each day. When this screen is presented, the incoming call will ring on the computer. If there is a session scheduled, the attendance screen will also be presented here, which we will talk more about later. To access the Classroom Manager, just click on the Classroom Management link at the top of the screen. You are now in the Classroom Management screen. To add the students you'd like to participate, click on Class List. Select 10 to 12 students who are emerging readers and know basic CVC words. Please do not select students who have not yet mastered letter sounds and letter names. Our program just does not include content that supports letter and sound identification.
To populate the class list, click on the class list icon from the menu. Click Add New Student. Begin typing the student's first name. If the student was enrolled in our program last year, their profile will auto-populate. If this is the student's first year in our program, you will need to populate the fields with the student information. Assuming this is the student's first year, enter the student's first and last name and click Add New Student. The Add Student box will pop up and you can populate the student's information. If your students are participating in TutorMate Enrichment only, you can ignore the following fields: RFS and group. FRL, for your reduced lunch status, is optional. What is most important is making sure the student's initial and current reading levels are indicated. These are usually the same at the beginning of the year. Throughout the year, revise the current reading level to make sure the student is reading at his or her current reading level when working with the tutor. Enter the student's grade, gender, and race. Next, give each student a priority. Priority numbers go from 1 to 10, with number 1 being the top priority, or a student who needs the most help. You will give each participating student a priority, which will help us assign those students who are most in need of practice first. Select the program access, which is Tutor Portal. If the student is in need of Spanish support, check the Yes box, and we will do our best to find a Spanish-speaking tutor. The group field will only be available should students return to remote learning due to COVID-19. Click on Save Changes when you're done, and complete this process for all participating students.
Before we can assign students a tutor, we need to get parental permission. There are 2 options available for obtaining permission from parents. You can send a link for parents to register online, or you can print out a form for parents to sign and return to you. Links for online submission are located in the class list section of the platform, and there are 3 links to choose from: the classroom registration link, a student registration link, and a registration printout link. The classroom or student links are a convenient option for sending the parents the link in an email so they can complete the form online. Use the classroom registration link at the beginning of the year if you want to send one email to a group of parents. Use the student registration link if you want to send to one parent only. For example, you may want to send a reminder link to one parent who has not yet completed the online form. If you would prefer to send students home with a paper copy of the permission form, click on the registration printout link. Parents can return the completed form to school or use the QR code to complete the registration online. Remember, you can always view what parents have completed the permission form from the class list screen. Now we can move to the third and final step in the process, blocking out times on the shared calendar when tutors should call the classroom. A blockout on the calendar shows up in black and are times that are not available for tutors to sign up for a session. For example, during lunch or special activities that occur frequently throughout the week. Keep in mind that you will have 10 individuals looking for time on that calendar. Like you, they also have schedules that they are trying to work around. It is helpful to leave open enough time so there is some flexibility for when tutors can schedule their session. Each cell equals 15 minutes, and tutors will need 2 15-minute blocks for their session. So as a rule of thumb, leaving open about 20 30-minute blocks is a good rule to follow. Typically, you can expect to receive 1 call in the morning and 1 call in the afternoon each day. To block out a chunk of time, click in the cell and drag down for the time you want to block out. When you have the desired time blocked, release your mouse. The new event screen will pop up. Here you will need to reset the repeat status. Repeat status has 3 options: do not repeat, repeat weekly, or repeat daily. Select do not repeat if you're blocking out a day or time that is temporary, like a field trip or a special assembly. This will block out time for that day and time only. Select repeat weekly if you want to block out time from week to week. For example, every Tuesday and Thursday, you want to block out time from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. because your students always have a special activity on those 2 days, and you want that blackout to repeat every week. Select repeat daily if you want to block out the same time every single day of the week. This status is useful when blocking out lunchtime, which happens every day, or any time you want to block out for the entire week. Click Save when you're done. You can always delete or adjust the blackout times on the calendar. To make an adjustment to an entry, click in the blackout cell you would like to change. If you want to make the change for the current week only, select this event only. If you want to make the change for all events from week to week, select All Repeating Events. Then click on Update Event. If you want to delete the event entirely, click Delete Event. As tutors begin to sign up, you will see their name and the student's name appear in purple on the day and time they plan to work with your student. You might recall earlier in the training we talked about the attendance screen. The attendance screen will display each morning with the list of students who have a session on that day. If the student who has a session that day is absent, simply click on the toggle switch to change from present to absent. Again, the tutor will get an email letting them know not to call on that day. Attendance should be taken as often as possible so tutors are not calling the classroom when their student is not available. This concludes our TutorMate basic training and what you need to complete before we can assign your students a volunteer tutor. If you have questions or need assistance, please reference the Program Manager by District list to find your dedicated program manager. Thank you.